next member, Hodgins.
Thank you, Chair. Okay. Thank you guys for being here today. I really appreciate you guys' presentation earlier, but I do have a couple of questions. So for the alternative program, the county standards, they're going to be provided when and where can they be found? And then who will review and approve the alternate program?
Thank you for the question. So the first question about when will the standards be ready? So we are working on that simultaneously, but this is the foundation we have to build that on top of. So whatever you're specifying here, if you're saying there's violations or what the time frame will be, all of those things, we'll build it off of that. So this is our starting point. But we do have templates that have been provided to us from other communities that we can work through. Right now, it's very clear that this is going to have to be a multi-departmental effort. Mm-hmm. So we're trying to determine who's going to be the intake, and then are we going to have bring in a team to assist us in reviewing for alternative program, or are we going to try to handle it in-house? And as you know, all of our departments are stretched. So we're trying to identify, we know that this needs to be expeditious.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then for the government program, how long does the right of entry period last? And I'm kind of looking for more details. So if I own a property on one side of the affected area, do I have to wait for the other side of the affected area to be cleaned? Are you guys going to kind of go by piecemeal and subdivide it out? Or how long is this going to last? And then after you're done cleaning, let's say it's not done to whatever standard, hypothetically, do you guys have the ability to come back and fix if you guys missed anything?
I'll take the right of entry part, and then I'll pass it to you for the strategy. So right of entry, anyone can submit now. We're already accepting right of entries and have accepted in Kula. And then our intention is, as we start to move through the reentry process in Lahaina, is to meet with each neighborhood as the reentry is opened up, and then can continue to meet with them.
The question regarding whether anything was missed, typically there's going to be a walkthrough at the end with our contractor, the Army Corps, and we will invite Maui County to make that determination so that we do not leave a site. If there are issues or concerns that are outside of the program, we would be willing to discuss those, but that in general, we're kind of restricted by what is eligible, as we discussed. If it's eligible and it wasn't removed, there will probably be a reason for it. And one of those reasons might be there's a retaining wall that we cannot remove because it is actually holding back a slope. So for safety issues, and that will be determined during the site assessment. So the property owner will be notified that we cannot remove that retaining wall, and then they have the option to either opt in or opt out of the program.
Okay, and then how long do people have to wait? Like, are you guys going to go by subdivision? And then when the subdivision is kind of with the cleanup, can people go back, or are they waiting for the entire thing to be clean?
So we have a couple of different factors. If we have rights of entry for efficiency's sake, we will probably sector out once we get enough of a volume that makes sense to go into a subdivision.
Okay.
So we encourage people to enroll early so that we can actually have some sort of efficiency as we move through.
Okay. And then for the alternate program, again, going back to that, how long do people have to find a contractor, get approval by the county? Does that going to affect their timeline if the county takes a long time to approve their permit? And then before they're determined to be a public nuisance, what does that timeline look like?
We haven't set those dates yet, but Cole, would you like to share a typical?
Yeah, I'm happy to. So, and there really is no typical, right? The intent usually is to try and not allow the alternate program to extend too far past the end of the consolidated program. And so we've often seen jurisdictions set, 3 to 4 months after the substantial completion of the consolidated program. There is often an interest in communities to try and figure out if there is going to be a small universe of folks that are non-compliant, so that while there is a general contractor mobilized and performing work for the consolidated program. In California, we're often able to, through a judicial process, get those folks enrolled in the consolidated program so that they can get cleaned concurrent with it and they aren't hanging out there forever. So I don't know if that answers your question, but.
Okay. Thank you. Chair, I do have one more question that I can save for after.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll do another round. Next, we'll have Member